Hello and welcome to 50 Now What? I'm your host, Alicia Sutton, and today's episode is Staying Stylish in Your 50s. Now, we've come a long way to make it to this season in our life, and there are some fashion trends we're glad to leave behind that are probably still in your closet, and some others you hated to see fade away that are probably also still in your closet. But no matter what, you want to look good and feel good in your clothes and style. Well, today we'll be getting some inspiration and how-to advice from award-winning designer and branding expert Rebecca Forrest. A little bit about Rebecca? Well, Rebecca is best known for her work as a costumer and celebrity stylist for television and film. And you'll find today her empowering advice inspires her clients and community to reach their dreams with actionable steps. Her work in front and behind the camera focuses on faith, authenticity, and positive thinking. Rebecca built her career in entertainment, shaping the culture of popular dress by collaborating with directors, producers, network executives, and actors from the screen to the red carpet. She has worked with many artists over her 12-plus years in commercials, film, and television, including Mike Coulter, Michael B. Jordan, Glenn Close, Brad Pitt, Corbin Reed, Anna Kendrick, Owen Wilson, Keke Palmer, Tamara Moore-Housley, Jeannie Mae, and the cast of ABC's Blackish, for which the costume design team led by Michelle Cole received an Emmy nomination. Rebecca Forrest is truly a force, and we are super excited to have her with us today. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Alicia.
How are you?
I am wonderful and happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, and we're so happy to have you with us. Well, we've talked before at length, and we got some things that you know that I've been through, and we're going to address some of those things. And some shouldn't be too surprising, but I know you can handle it. But one of the things about being 50 and being at this point and stage in our life is comfort has become the key. Mm-hmm. And I'm not willing to sacrifice it like I did years ago. You know, the whole mantra, pain is beauty, kind of over that. But I still want to look good. And women like me, we still want to look good. You know, I don't feel old, but there have been some concessions that I've made. And I'll need to seek your advice because I have a little bit of an admission.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
I think it's better if I show you.
Okay. I'm nervous and excited at the same time. Ooh, it's a slow reveal.
It's my Crocs. I am for my Crocs. Yes. And I have a blue pair, and I've gotten them all blinged out, and I have a bright pink pair.
Yes.
I got them on there.
What kind of gibbets do you have? Tell me, what is the story of your Crocs?
Okay, I got to bring up the story because I don't know if you can see these, but okay, so this is my Black Girl Magic, mm-hmm. and one of my favorite places is Paris.
Yes.
So I have my little Paris gibbet there, and of course I got the crown because queen.
Yes.
And you know what? Because since we're talking about shoes, I don't wear heels like I used to, my stilettos, so I have one on my Crocs.
That's right, just to remind people.
Just to remind people, This is where I used to be. It's a nod to where it is.
I could if I wanted to.
I could if I want to. If I wrap these feet up, I can still work them. I won't go far, but I still can wear them. So I wear them on my Crocs. And I have another pair that is my bright pink pair. I call it my love girl pair. Oh. And they're just bright pink. And I just put the butterflies on here and all about love. And the starfish. I love my little starfish. I love the beach. You know, in West Coast, you gotta be a beach girl. And so this is kind of how I'm riding it right now.
Yes.
You know, and I wear it as appropriate, and I do try to style around it. Like that's why I bought some to match.
Right.
And I see some more Crocs and I see more Crocs in my future, Rebecca.
You know there's Crocs with heels.
I see more Crocs in my future.
I'm going to send you a picture.
They have Crocs with heels?
Yeah, it's an oxymoron. I don't know why they would do that. But I love your Crocs.
I don't know why they would do it, but I'm going to find them out.
Yeah, you can find them.
It's definitely a vibe. You got me thinking, they got Crocs with heels.
Yeah, but that defeats the purpose. I love your Crocs. I think they're fantastic.
It kind of does.
And they're a conversation starter. You could be out and some beautiful person now has the opportunity to speak to you and ask for your phone number based off this wonderful conversation they had about your Crocs.
Yes. So anybody that's been giving me side eye about these lovely Crocs of mine, you can go sit down because somebody gonna walk up and ask me, well, "Tell me about them butterflies, girl.
Exactly.
Tell me about the butterflies on your shoes."
You'll say Crocs, really, and you'll say yes, really, and then you'll just start. That'll be your meet cue.
I love it. My meet cute. I got meet cute stuff. I got meet cute stuff. I'm loving it. Oh, so there. Crocs are for me. There. Boom. And I'm wearing them. And now, Rebecca, you were talking about, editing your closet. And what are you finding with people when they actually edit their closet? How are they actually wearing the clothes in their closet, or are you just asking them to just? How much of their closet are people actually even using?
Yeah, it's funny
All of it
because
or none of
people
it?
always get embarrassed when they're like, oh, don't judge me about my closet. But most people's closets have this, the same things in common. They only wear 10% of their clothes. They don't wear the other parts of what's in their closet. When we go through and edit, I hear over and over again, oh, I haven't seen this in a while. Ooh, don't judge me by this. I never wear it. So, most people are wearing this tight capsule of clothing over and over again for various reasons. Those are their favorite pieces. Those are the only pieces that fit their recent weight gain or weight loss. And so one of the first process that we do after having our conversation is dividing everything into 3 groups. We edit out and purge. So we give away to charity or goodwill, and then there's a pile to give to family and friends, those things that you don't necessarily want them to just go off in the universe. You want to see them again, see someone else enjoy them. I call it bless somebody else. And then there's the small pile for memories and things that you're really attached to and have a story behind them. You can't wear them, but you also can't let them go.
I get it. I have some aspirational pieces that I don't know if I want to give away or if I want to.
Don't keep aspirational pieces. This is why I don't
keep
let
aspirational.
clients keep aspirational. When I lose weight, clothes, because by the time you lose that weight, you will be a different Alicia, and she won't even want to wear those clothes.
I won't want it.
No.
I won't want that gold sequin dress that I bought 10 years ago. You're probably, you know what? You're right. So there you have. Most people only wear 10% of their closet. So we're going to separate when we do that purge. We're going to look at all of that, and then we're going to go into our 3 piles. I want to say it again. You got your one you're going to
give away, donate to charity. You're going to bless somebody else and give it to a friend or family member. And then you're going to have a very, very small pile of things that have memories in them that you're not going to wear, but you definitely can't let go of.
Beautiful. And another thing, and I know you know about this, is that, as you age, your body does change. And there are just things that aren't going back. And you can do all the yoga, you can take all the spin classes, but there's a little pooch somewhere that's just, it's just there to stay. Embrace it, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And with all that, and I've also blossomed into looking into these colors, and I know I'm not alone.
Yes, I love your bright pink that you have on today.
This is where I'm at. This is where I'm sitting comfortable at. And
yes.
and I mean, I know pink has made a comeback, at least for me. At first, I think it's probably been around. It's probably just been me just noticing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hot pink. It's the throwback to the 80s. I feel like Pantone recycles colors like every generation. And this year we've got this pop of pink, and people are calling it Barbie core. But I mean, it was hot in the 90s. It was really popular in the 80s. So you're right on trend and timeless at the same time.
Oh, perfect. My question is, what is making its comeback? So I'm loving the pink. Are there anything else that we can see and anticipate coming back for some of us throwback 80s, 90s folks that we can kind of welcome back?
Yes. It's funny you mentioned this because my mother is a seasoned woman, as she likes to call herself. At 77 years old, and
gone season.
Yes, Barbara Jean, and she loves to shop. She has several closets, but what she does is she does tear sheets from Vogue and Essence, and she goes through all the magazines and pulls out what's trending now, and then she'll just style and shop in her closet.
Oh, I love that.
If you have a classic style of dress, really, you're not going to go out of style. You might be on the cusp because of the shape of a notch collar or the width of a pant leg or the shade of a color. So like pink from 2 years ago or 5 years ago was like millennial pink, which is a lot lighter. And now people are in this Barbie core look. So I think it's less about trends and more just like staying current and true to your style.
I absolutely love that because that's one of the things like, my closet's right here and I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can kind
Mm-hmm.
of keep that. And then some stuff I'm going, yeah, no, that may need to go or just wait. So I guess maybe the advice is if you got it, maybe hold on to it long enough and maybe see it come back or.
You know what I do with my clients? We do things, first of all, before we can shop or have the makeover, we do a closet cleanse. So we can do it virtually or I go in person, but we make 3 piles. And that is to donate, to give to a friend. I say like bless your sister or your aunt or somebody
There you
you
go.
know, because you want to see it again. A lot of people are very connected to their items and they remember like I remember the party I wore that to or the graduation of a niece I wore that to. And you don't want to see it go to the Goodwill and to like someone you don't know. You want to see it again.
Right.
And then I have a very small pile of things that are just sentimental and have so much value in your heart, you can't let them go, even if you don't wear them.
Even if you don't wear them.
So I definitely suggest purging before you shop.
That is excellent advice. That is excellent advice. So I'll keep my class jacket, but a couple.
Yes, keep that for the month of October.
I'll keep that. And and then try to go through the rest. And that was actually, I mean, you're hitting it spot on because I don't want to look outdated, but you still want to be, I hate to use the word appropriate, but what, if anything, can you call off limits? It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot that's off limits, but are there? Is it just me?
Listen, Tabitha Brown is one of my favorite people on the whole planet. And I just
Love
love how
Tab.
she minds her business and encourages everyone to do the same. And I really feel like
Love
there
her.
is no appropriate dress. You know, there was a time where makeover shows were very popular and they kind of faded from television, right? Like what not to wear
Yeah.
and how old do I look? And I think a big part of people rejecting those shows is that bodies and the way you look, the way you are, not your goal, but the way you are today is more than enough and acceptable. And so there's no rules of like, if you're this age, your hemline needs to
Yes.
be here. If you're this age,
Yes.
you can't wear cutouts. You know, I saw on Instagram this woman was celebrating her 80th birthday and she had
Yes.
on a cream sweater and the chest
Yes.
had the slash cutouts in it.
Did she have a slash?
I said, go, mama, go.
Get it.
Okay, get it. She was
Get it.
beautiful, beautiful. And just
Oh, I love that.
walking with her cane to the beat, and it was everything. And that is what she wants to wear. That is what she should wear. And that's the only rule. If that's what you want to wear, pain is not beauty anymore. Confidence is beauty. So if you're comfortable and you're confident, you look beautiful.
Ladies listening today, confidence is beauty. It is coming from within, and I am loving this frequency. I'm loving this vibration that's a lot more inclusive of who you are as a woman. And you don't make it to this season in life without having enough experience to bring to the table to walk in your truth and in your light. And that's why I have Rebecca here today to remind us, yes, wear your cutout slashed out
If that's
shirt.
what you like,
Now,
wear it.
if that's what you like. Now, if we're getting into, let's say, okay, you love the 90s, and I
do.
you know, I'm a child of the 90s. I love the 90s, and I love that. But is there, like you say, trying to take a nostalgic look, but still refresh it? You know, you don't always want to look like you're trapped in your, I love Salt and Pepper and De La Soul, but you know,
Yes.
but sometimes you just want to take it and not improve upon it, but
Yeah.
is there a place for using nostalgia and keeping it refreshed in a way that doesn't make you look completely trapped?
Absolutely. One of my mentors, Julie Weiss, she's Academy Award nominee in costume design, and she says she loves people watching. She can tell by looking at a person when their heyday was, like when they thought this is my best life, because they are stuck in that decade in their silhouette. Even if they're shopping at Free People, you know, people who love the 70s are drawn to Free People.
Free
so, like,
People.
Every brand has like their vibe and aesthetic. There's nothing wrong with being inspired by the time that you felt the most joy. There's just a way to do it so it doesn't look like a costume and it looks more like your style. You know, so
that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes,
Yeah.
you don't want to look like it's, I mean, it's one thing when you're amping it up because it's Halloween or there's a theme party and stuff
Right.
like that. So yeah, you're going to go all out and you're going to have your box hat on and your, you know, the stuff that you have pulled in the back of your closet, which I still have.
I think the
but
people who are in charge now of television, the decision makers of television, film, and fashion grew up in the 90s. because
Yeah,
look at
me.
the colors and the color blocking. It reminds me of
I
salt and pepper
love it.
and cross colors.
Cross colors.
I was watching the show on Netflix, Georgia and
Girl.
Jenny, and one of the characters had on a straight up cross colors outfit. I mean, new, but her denim, one leg was red, one leg was yellow, the belt loops were green. I think I
I
had those.
love it.
I think I had those. Yeah.
I know I had those. And I feel bad that I allowed myself, and like you said, with all of those, I love that you mentioned those makeover shows and what not to wear and stuff like that. I think there was a point where I allowed a lot of that stuff to seep in, and I kind of got shamed out of things that I loved because of where I thought I needed to be in my 40s. And and I was working, and I had a very conservative look, and it kind of seeped into every part of how I was living my life, was how I needed to look as a 40-year-old, as a career woman. And I looked up, I had everything was black, everything was a collared shirt, everything was some kind of a suit. And I do love a suit, but I want a pink suit,
Right.
and I want to wear something like that. And so I'm glad that we're talking about that. So there's a lot of people like me who did probably a very misdirected, unintentional purge, and now are kind of reaching back and are at Free People and looking for some of those nostalgic things.
Yes.
If I can find a pair of cross-colored pants, Alicia's putting them on. She's
They are
putting them
out
on.
there waiting for you.
They are out there. I are out there. I want to go to, and I see you have a rack behind you, so
Oh,
I don't
yes.
want to, we can talk about this all day, but I do want to get into some how you're messaging, how you are, what it is that you want to say with your clothes, and even with all the options there, if you're being intentional about how you want to message.
Yes.
And if you're looking for the date clothes, the date night clothes, and still staying authentic to yourself, there are certain little tweaks and things that you may want to gear yourself toward. I know a lot of it's kind of like the psychology of what you're trying to message. So we're going to talk a little bit about that when we get into our kind of our breakdown. And we talked about shoes. And we talked about comfort, and also how to, I guess the word I want to look for is there a way we can be looking at comfort shoes that improve,
Yeah, absolutely.
how your posture, because a lot of how you are presenting and messaging is how you're standing. What is your
It's
advice to that?
absolutely true. I think that this is the constant battle, right? Comfort over style, or people are like, is this cute enough, or can you be comfortable and sexy? And the answer is yes. Thankfully our vice president put Converse back on the map and showed that she can be dressed up and ready to take on the world with Converse sneakers on. I mean, Serena Williams is known to wear sneakers with evening wear, and in general it's just very accepted now. Like the new ballet flat is a sneaker. That's like the new thing. But
Good.
I do not co-sign on flats. Now, look, if you want to wear a flat, that is definitely what you should do. One of my suggestions to replace flats, or even shoes that they might be a sneaker or something you just feel like you want to upgrade, is a menswear expired, like Oxford. So here's an example of a very comfortable shoe. It's pewter.
Oh, wow.
Which is in
It's
between
pretty
like
color.
silver and bronze. So it's a neutral,
Love
even
that
though
color.
it has a little splash to it. It's like wearing sequins
like
during
that.
the day. And then this is a soft sole shoe company. But the difference is the upgrade, right? Remember, our parents' generation of this shoe, the sole was plastic.
God.
And even
it
rounded on
was
the
bad.
edges. It was bad.
It was, girl, it was
They
bad.
weren't thinking about us like that.
They weren't thinking about us like
it was
that.
before bloggers. They
No.
didn't know. And
They
now-
didn't know.
They didn't know.
They didn't know.
And now they know,
No.
right? So it's mimicking a leather
they know.
sole. It's nice and matte black. And this is like
Okay.
walking on pillows. Every time I wear these, people ask me about them, and they say, "Oh, I said they're comfortable."
Okay.
They say they're comfortable.
And I like that. And they give you a height.
They give you a half an inch to an inch, but you
half an
don't
inch, a
feel it
little bit
because
height.
it's a hidden platform.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally do that.
Yes.
I can totally do that. And I've walked past those and I kind of go, huh. And I didn't think, okay, well, where am I going to place that? But I can
Yes.
put that just about anywhere
Oh
now
my
that I'm
gosh.
looking. It's something about seeing it here, like, oh yeah, that is
Yes,
cute.
I'm glad you said where am I going to place that, because one of the things my clients push back on when I put them in an outfit is where am I going with this? Where am I going to
Yeah.
wear this? And
Yes.
especially when you get to a certain season of your life where you feel like you may not have as many events or things to go to. You're running errands, you're going to work,
Yeah.
you're doing stuff to support family and your kids. But really, I say that you can wear it to the grocery store. You can wear
Oh,
that
you
to run
can.
your errands. You're not dressing for your audience. You're dressing for yourself. So whatever
That's
makes
true.
you feel good, it's always going to be appropriate.
That's true. And I'm one of those people, and this may be, I was raised by a baby boomer, and so there's still some things that kind of seep in to your life. I know you probably got it too, is that you
Yes.
still want to look elegant and classy, even if you're just walking through a mall. You don't want to look like you just rolled off, fell out the floor, and went somewhere. You absolutely want to feel as though you look good. How
Yes.
you are presenting and how you're feeling about yourself absolutely matters,
Mm-hmm.
with how you're presenting yourself and how you'll walk and what your message as well.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so I love that shoe. Another thing I want to touch upon here is, and you can take that shoe anywhere. You can style around that shoe,
This shoe can go with pants,
anything.
jeans. It could be. It's really cute with a dress. Anything.
You know what I love? I love that we are doing this, head to toe kind of coverage. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I do have one more thing before we go from our feet and move up. Where are we with stockings and hosiery right now? I'm not seeing a lot of
Gosh, I am so
I'm not
glad you
seeing a
brought
lot of
that
bare
up.
legs, and I love it.
You know what? I'm not team either one. I think if you love your skin and you got it looking good and you don't want to wear any pantyhose, that's fine. If you feel like, you know
Okay?
what, I want a smooth look, I don't feel like shaving, whatever the reason is you want to wear hose, I think that looks good too. But I think hosiery is on the rise in popularity.
Yeah.
There is, what's her name? Jane with Jayne, I believe. And she's a black designer that sells the chocolate nude shade. Her
The
nude
chocolate nude
is for
shades.
all of our skin tones.
Right.
There is a return to self-care and doing every single step of the process. That era of like the 40s and the 50s and the 60s of a part of the appropriate dress is what you did before you even put on the top layer. It was your undergarments and your
Right.
pantyhose and your slip. I was raised by a baby bloomer, so I
I,
was
I
not allowed
remember
to
that
leave the
slip.
house without a slip on.
I remember. I'm like, the skirt is wool. Why do I
I
have
already have on a
on a
sweater and a
slip?
blouse. Why do I need a
A
slip on?
blouse, a vest, a
Yes,
jacket.
yes.
What are you doing to me? Yeah.
Yeah, but lingerie makes what you have on underneath your clothes is like your secret between you and your partner, you and yourself. And so I love that extra step of having the pantyhose on.
Okay, good. And I wanted to bring that up because I'm seeing it dot in and out, and I actually bought a pair. I haven't worn them yet, but I'm like, I may need these.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's part of getting older. So I'm like, I might need it, so I'm just going to get it. And I found the right tone too, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that was always an issue with me, is actually finding the right tone to go
Mm-hmm.
with whatever. But I think they're gonna pop up in something. Okay, let's move. Let's going up. We're going head to toe and feet to head, however we want to say
I
that.
love it.
And I'm at some pants and skirts.
Yes.
I guess again it's messaging in terms of length. And you let me know. I'll say this and you let me know if I'm off base or if you have something to add. When I'm looking at my length, if I'm doing a long length something or
Mm-hmm.
other, if I'm going long, I'm thinking I'm elegant
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to really, it's something about wearing something long, Rebecca, that almost makes you walk like
Mm-hmm.
because you're kind of
You
holding
want
the
it to
side of
swish
it.
behind you, and yes,
You want it
yes.
to swish, you want it to flow. You
Mm-hmm.
got this strut with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's your message,
Yeah, and I love going up the
are we
stairs
going
with the
long?
long skirt. You have to gather it up.
Oh,
It's
it
giving
makes you it
Victorian,
almost
and I'm like running down
it's
the
giving
stairs, and
Victor.
it's behind me. Yeah,
That's
yeah, it's pretty
that's what it
magical.
is.
It's
It's magical. So
yeah.
if you're listening and you're wearing long length, think magical, think elegant, think classic
Mm-hmm.
silhouette. You want it to flow, and that's what I love when I put on a maxi dress
Mm-hmm.
and we flow with it. That's your
Mm-hmm.
messaging. When you're going
Yeah.
short,
Yeah.
you can play with short however you kind of way. And while I have you here, because I know you got influence in the thing, when I talk short, I know this may be old school, but I really loved that skirt because it was something about having that short that kind of made me feel confident, and then have a skirt over it.
Let
And
me tell
I
you the
felt
secret
like,
about the skirt. People are sleeping on the skirt because the skirt lets you get away with going above the fingertip rule, right? You could have it at your thigh because you knew you could bend over.
That's what it is.
Because you were covered in the back. It was shorts in the back.
It was
so
shorts
you could be
in
flirty
the
in the
back.
front, but you knew you could bend over. Yeah.
That's where I'm at with that. So I do. I don't see them often.
No,
they're hard to find.
Anymore.
But I just want to put the word out there. Just want to put it out there.
Bring
Some
back
of us
the
love
skirt.
them. Bring
Okay.
back the skirt. I'm good with it. Bring back the skirt. Okay.
I think any length that you feel comfortable with. If you want to show your knees, there's no over 35, don't show your knees. There's none of that anymore.
Yes.
If you like
Thank
your
God.
knees and you want to show them, that is up to you. Go for it. I think that's great. It depends.
I do.
Every length, every fit, if you want it tight or loose, everything is up to you. There are no rules. It just depends on what kind of message you want to send.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And I don't want to hold anybody to any particular standard, because it is about what you think. And I have to say this too, and I'm actually, this is kind of a nod to some of the millennial Gen Zers, and that is a lot of that push came from that generation. I have to say that. And it really has opened up women like me who've been wanting to do that for a long time and pushing those envelopes and still trying to living in these boxes of how-tos and what to do's. And it did. So I give my hat off to the Lizzos, and I give my hats off to these women who say, what, who, you know what I mean? This is how I'm rolling. And I love that.
I'm glad we made our way up to the waist, because once we get past a certain age, we start to have private summers, and these hormones start to act up on us. And there's no space for like tightness around the core. Right? You do not want anything pushing back on your belly button or on your stomach at all.
You absolutely don't.
And sometimes, depending on how our bodies react to this season, it doesn't matter how much you work out. There's just that part of your body is just holding all of your life experiences, and it's just going to be like that. So I think it's
I love how you said that. You are so smart and brilliant. She said it is holding your life experience. That is the most I'm going to say that everywhere I go. This part right here this is just my life right here. This is it. And I've deserved it. And I've earned this I've earned my pooch. Which brings me to one last thing before we move on from that. Leggings, jeggings, it doesn't matter as long as it is looking good. But I don't see the jegging as
listen,
much.
we got to draw the line somewhere.
Please draw it.
And I'm going to draw it with, this is my rule. It has to be of good quality. It doesn't mean expensive. It just means good quality. So jeggings, leggings are one of those categories, like socks. There are a few categories where companies skimp on the fabrication and the stitching. So if you have a pair of leggings that are supposed to be dark denim, but when you put them on and the fibers stretch, it turns almost like chambray and it's white because the fabric is dyed on the top and it's not submerged. That's where I draw the line.
You hear that, ladies? Line drawn on leggings and jeggings that are not of good quality, that suddenly become a meme on the internet because someone will see you in them and they will show up. I have seen that, and it is ridiculous. All right. Perfect. Let's get into, and this is always a tricky thing, and that is jeans. And you talked about that, the love and the growth that you've had that is sitting there now. I'm going to leave that to you.
Yeah. Jeans are so hard because you're already starting at a casual level. You're already dealing with a material that is like just traditionally very uncomfortable unless you're in a like higher premium denim or a denim that's got so much polyester there's a lot of stretch to it. So for me, jeans are just, I don't wear jeans often. Usually, they're pretty uncomfortable between the pockets and the rivets. I just don't like all that stuff touching me in the middle. But when I do put there are some clients of mine that they love jeans. So what we do is, first of all, if you're a jeans wearer, I suggest that you update them. They really shouldn't be more than 5 years old because the silhouette of denim and the wash changes so quickly. It's one of those categories that people feel like you can have forever, but people are still buying jeans and new jeans are still coming out. So they're doing just enough to change them, or else they wouldn't be selling any more units.
That's right.
I think that especially if for my clients over a certain age, you want to accentuate your curves and your waist as much as possible. So I favor
Right.
towards high-waisted denim because it immediately
Yes.
gives you that cinch waist. And when you add a belt, a statement belt, it looks really beautiful and draws attention to creating that hourglass look.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
If you're going to do denim, I love it in a trouser, a wide leg, or something that's completely distressed and like you're going to paint or something.
I love that.
There's some really cool denim right now going out where it looks like there's a stripe, like a candy cane stripe cut out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
then you could do that. I love
I'm
that.
feeling it.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm feeling it. Well, first of all, that's the best denim advice I've gotten. You don't think about that. They kind of wear and tear, and you get into them. You're like, what happened to these? These used to be my favorite jeans, and suddenly they're just like you feel horrible in them, and they even feel kind of like, why does this feel like this? It doesn't even look good. One other thing, like you said, you don't wear jeans often. What are you using as an option? Because I'm kind of fading out. I love jeans. I still do wear them, but I kind of like a little option, something else a little bit more comfortable. What do you recommend, suggest?
Pants are really beautiful right now. I suggest finding a brand that works because brands are using a fit model. If you find a seat and a leg from a brand that fits you, then stick with those brands. So then
Got it.
if Banana Republic always fits, but Ann Taylor Loft doesn't, like each company has kind of a fit to it. So I like to wear a lot of pants, cropped, wide leg. I went through a phase where I wore a lot of paper bag waist pants.
Did you?
Oh, I loved it because it's high waisted and
So
cinched, and then like hips, just like little waist and big. I just love that. But
I love it.
like right now, I
Okay.
have on sweater knit pants for the winter, and they're really just like wide leg and swing over my boot, and I wear like a little 2-inch heel boot.
I love that. Okay, that's an option. If you're listening, take out some of those options, and it's okay to switch out from the denim. I know some of us are suffering through them.
Yeah. Yes, and if
Because
you are
still
cost
love 'em.
conscious and or want to protect the earth and get involved in being sustainable with your styling practice, there are some great resources like the realreal.com has designer clothing
Yes.
at like 90% off. threadup.com is really great. That's a great app that I use as well.
Thread up.
So
Thread
I
up,
know that I
okay.
personally love Alice and Olivia, and they sell that
Yes.
at Neiman Marcus, but they also sell it at threadup. So
They sell it at Thread
yeah,
Up.
sometimes it's new with tags, sometimes it's gently loved, but I love a great upcycle boutique. It allows you to try some higher end brands that maybe you wouldn't normally buy full price.
Oh, that's such great advice. Oh, we're getting the good stuff, ladies. We're getting it. Let's go to accessories. We got belts, we got earrings, there's so much out there right now. But what is your must-have accessory that you definitely ought to have?
My must have number one are belts of various
Yes.
widths and lengths. So I'm going to belt a sweater, a trench coat. Sometimes, especially with my outerwear, if it comes with a matching belt, I'll take that belt out and then put in
Yeah.
a leather belt. So your
Yes.
waist is going to go above your hip bone to right below your bra line, your breast line. And
Okay,
then
let me make sure we have that.
I-
That's a waist belt. It's going right below.
right below where your bra hits, in between
below your
there
bra
and
hits.
and above your hip bone. You can feel the top of
I
your,
gotcha.
So
Feel
in
the top
between
of
there.
it. Okay.
And then
Okay.
you need waist belts. So this is a
Oh,
nice
that is
braided belt.
beautiful,
Isn't this
Rebecca. I
nice?
love that
It
belt.
ages really beautifully too.
It does. That's what I love. Something that a belt, if you have a really good belt, you can always reach back for it. Good quality, good leather, beautiful color.
Yes.
Classic. You can always reach back for
This
it.
looks really good when you wear something that's right at the hip. Tuck your sweater,
Okay.
tuck your shirt in, tuck your blouse in, and really accentuate your waist.
Tuck it in, accentuate the waist.
Yeah, no
Everybody
matter what
got
the
that?
waist number is, it looks good. Okay, Put a
It
belt
does
around
look
it.
good. Put a belt
that's
around
my
it.
number one accessory. I think other things
Got
like
it.
that, like earrings, necklaces, those are really emotional pieces. That's usually where people tell a story, right? It's a pair of earrings that someone gave you, or a necklace that has a charm that was a gift, or just spent some time with
That's
some
a great
girlfriends this
point.
past weekend. She was wearing her mom's chain.
That's true.
So I don't
Yes.
really, to me, you don't read people's journals, you don't read people's text messages. I don't mess with people's necklaces and earrings. If that's, you wear what you
Love that.
feel attached to.
And you know what? That is so true. You hit that perfectly because I do that all the time. I didn't think about that I'm doing that, but I absolutely do that. When I'm feeling some type of a way, I will jump into my mom's favorite necklace, or I will throw on even her favorite scarf. Sometimes I'll wear her scarf or something like that. It is absolutely true. And I do love scarves too, but
Me too.
it is an emotional thing. I'm so glad you made that point and given us so much great advice. And before we wrap up, I'd like for you to kind of tell us some of the things that your styling process and what people can start to think about on their own when they're trying to move into the season, trying to not just change up, but to take what they already have as a person and say, this is who I am and this is how I'm going to do it. We've already talked about editing the closet. What are some of the things that you do with your client before you even start styling them?
Yeah, absolutely. Before I even style a client, we don't actually touch any clothes. You know, we sit down and we have a conversation about when was the last time they felt beautiful? And when was the last time they felt seen and they felt comfortable
Rebecca.
in their clothes? And we really talk about how long ago that was and what has happened since then to change their point of view. I know personally, before having a child, I wore a lot of mixed prints, a lot of black and white graphic prints. And if it didn't make sense, I didn't mind. I just loved looking like abstract painting. And after I gave birth, I don't wear prints at all. I wear mostly earth tones and all solid, and it has to feel really good on my skin. And it's just really important for my clients. I want my friends, my clients, everyone to understand that your language comes out of your mouth for sure, but there's also a language of clothing. And so I want people to find that voice so they can say what they want to be said about themselves. So I often say like that style is not according to what's in, it's according to what's inside.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I can't think of anything better to say than that. I don't have anything else to say than that. I think I want to leave that right there. Everyone listening in the audience, this has been Rebecca Force, and she is a force. I told you. And she brought us this love and this great advice, and I hope it's been helpful to you. And we appreciate your listening. And Rebecca, thank you so much. And when I clear out my closet, I'm going to have to bring you back and say, yeah, you did good. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for listening to 50 Now What? Make sure to follow us, rate, and share the show. Make sure to follow me on Instagram for continuous updates at 50 Now What Podcast. That's 50 Now What Podcast. You won't want to miss our next episode on June 23rd, where we talk with Terry Jones about all things money. We discuss where your money should go, investing 101, myths about credit, and so much more. Make sure to tune in to the next episode. This podcast was produced by Rainbow Creative with producer Matthew Jones and producer and editor Sean Leviashvili. I love working with this team. To learn more about making a podcast for you or your business, visit them at rainbowcreative.co.